Hello? Now? Perfect. Today I will have like troubles with connection, hopefully not, because a lot of people arrives to the hostel and we are having like, I don't know, 20 devices online. So it's really hard to get in a really good connection, but hopefully we can do it, okay? If we are having a lot of troubles, I would like turn off the camera, that always help, but I hope that no. Tonight we will start to talk about a really interesting topic, and it's like the eternal fight of egos. Who is better, lawyers or physicians or doctors? And we have here in this topic not too much time for discuss, because as you know, we are going like in our last sessions. So we cannot discuss all this clinical stuff so deep as I want. It's just give you some ideas, examples, and vocabulary. But basically, we have, when we talk about medicine, we need to understand what is the paper of the lawyers in these kind of fields and how we can start to going deeper in a world that is really, really opposite to us, really different, but we need each other, right? First, because at some point of our life, we will need that some physician check us. But second, because at some point of our career, we always will have connections with doctors. And when they need a lawyer, they will always come with us, okay? When we talk about this medical sector, we have to understand how the consulting maybe can happen, right? So I will give you one's on others' point of view, and after that, I want to listen yours, of course, because today we will have like this exercise. But I will start to giving you some ideas, and then I want that we have a conversation together, and after that, we will go into with the slides. With the slides. The first thing that I need to explain to you is when one group of doctors or when one economic group want to create a hospital or a clinic or they want to create a consulting place, they always would need the help of a lawyer because they have a specific rules of the sector of health that depending of the ministry or the department that are overseeing the relationships, and they always will need a lawyer. So that is like one first and specific case. The other one is the trade unions or the unions, que son los sindicatos. Oh, and here we are talking about all the rights. Perdí mi estornudo. And here we are talking about all the rights of the sector and can be like a nurses or a doctors and all these labor relationships. And this we have like in the most of the times, two sectors, two huge sectors, private sector or public sector. When they are having troubles in labor law, that is one way that the lawyers can be connected with physicians, okay? Other way that is the hardest part, and we will talk about this specific topic tonight, is medical negligence. And when we are talking about proofs in our law studies, and this is the most difficult part because when you want to go into a trial in one healthcare proceedings or procedural, and you need an expert that kind of sustained your claim or your suit. and it's like a bad proceeding or a procedure that was going against the lex artis in the medical care, they are a family. It's so hard that you find one doctor or um, one nurse, one medical doctor, or one physician that do a declaration against a behavior of one or their colleagues. They are a family. It's really hard unless you put a lot of money in the trial, but they will always cover between them. I don't want to sound rude, I don't want to sound bad, but it's a reality that happens too much in my country. And we had like a really huge and important process where they need to just ask for request to the judge for putting the trial some witnesses or some experts from other countries, because it's, and I can understand, because from my point of view, that is the hardest profession that you can take in your life. And you waste a lot of time and energy and whatever, and all of us do mistakes. But imagine that if we do some mistakes, I don't know what sounds bad, but if we do some mistakes, someone can lose money, and money go and back. That's it. But if at some point of stress or depression, or just because they were in rush, sorry, they can take a little decision that can affect forever someone that you cannot have going back, or that you basically cannot continue with your life because you're dead, right? And in these cases, when you, I don't want to talk about that one is better than other one. No, all the professions are necessary because a society needs to be plural. But in these cases, we can, I guess, that put it in balance the criminal law and the health, because with criminal, you can just finish with the freedom of someone, that is basically like kill them in life. If you are living in a jail because your lawyer made a mistake, I don't know, at some point depends, of course, of each one. But now with this lockdown, we understand how hard this get in prison. But it's not really prison. We are having internet access, our family, we are having our friends, we are having money. We're so far away to lose our freedom. But for us was shocking. Now imagine someone that is completely not guilty going to a jail or jails in Latin America are really dangerous, that where you need to sleep with knives for survives. That is life changing. And I guess that is the same power, but also when you are not a machine, as a human, you can do mistakes, you can forget some I don't know, consequence of appeal, and then something so little can just finish with the life of someone, and it's a huge responsibility. So when we need to go in these topics, we need to do it from not just common sense. We need to put it like in their shoes and try to understand how can be. I want that all of you tonight, and even the three girls that cannot turn the camera tonight, because I am like seeing all of you. But I want that you this night try to remember what, or at some point of your life, imagine what was your most or stressful time in your life. That can be an exam, that can be a trial, that can be a situation like a familiar situation or with your boyfriends or girlfriend. Try to imagine for a second, how do you take decisions in these times when you are in a really so deep in your crisis or depressions or whatever, because we are humans and we cannot think clearly. You know that our brains try to put everything blurry, and you are thinking with emotions. So that, going from that point of view as a human, imagine being that point of stress every day with terrible shifts, with the illusion to see your family, but it's really hard when they are working on. So we can have a complex situations every day, every time. And one thing that I will explain you later, every case is completely different. Even for us, we have cases. If we didn't know how to manage something, we can go to some court and ask for jurisprudence, see what they do, see what are the results. In my case, we can have precedent after 3 decisions in the same way, right? So more or less, we have an idea of what we can do. But imagine a student that takes like 20, 25 years to get all the experience. And then every day they are going like in an exams where the result can be the life of someone. It's really hard. And I guess that is the point or the main reason that they protect a lot of themselves. They are a huge group. And if you didn't have the experts and all the proofs as they need to going against that innocent, if you are like claiming for that, whatever that be the example, you cannot survive in one of these trials because they will find a way to make that the behavior of the physician was right? Or was in the frame of lex artis. Esta lex artis es algo que traemos del latín, que utilizamos muchísimo y se utiliza mucho en materia como de medicina para especificar cuál es como la cadena, el que hacer el debido proceso en cada circunstancia. Entonces la lex artis nos dice cómo cortar la vagina de tal manera para poder hacer un nacimiento, para poder hacer esto tiene un nombre, ¿cómo se llama? Cesárea, para poder hacer una cesárea. La lex artis nos dice dónde se tienen que inyectar ciertas medicinas para que no afecten de tal manera el sistema respiratorio, lo que ustedes quieran. Por donde ustedes lo quieran mirar, la lex artis nos dice cómo tenemos que abordar alguna situación en los pulmones, en los ojos, en lo que ustedes se quieran imaginar está establecido por la lex artis de la medicina. Entonces, lo que quiero referirme es que cuando nosotros vamos a entrar a este tipo de procesos, bien sea como defensa, como acusador, como representante de víctimas, sabemos que estamos entrando a un campo minado que nosotros no manejamos y que los expertos o los testigos expertos, dependiendo, pueden ser ad hoc o no, ellos van a entrar a dar un experticio técnico o a dar una opinión que nosotros tampoco a final de cuentas vamos a entender. Entonces, tenemos que tener asesores para poder entender sus testimonios, pero también estamos jugando con una lealtad que no creo que haya otro gremio que sean más leales que los médicos con los propios médicos. Solo ellos entienden lo que tienen que sudárselas para llegar ahí y se cubren muchísimo si el error fue mínimo o si fue máximo. Entre ellos hay una lealtad muy grande que en los abogados nunca va a haber. Nunca va a haber. Por muchas razones, que eso ya es un tema filosófico y sociológico que no vamos a debatir hoy. Then the other topic that is so important is the legal medicine, right? Or forensic medicine. That is so useful. And most of the times we start to see these kind of subjects at the end of the career because it's really traumatic to see this and to feel it and live it. But this is so connected with criminal law also. So this is the framework from we will start to work, and I will try to move in each aspect, going fast, I guess that this lesson and the next one. And for tomorrow, for our speaking call, we will talk about forensic medicine because we can find out really interesting articles with a lot of vocabulary and I can like call your attention easily, hopefully. So after that, I want to ask you, before I will start with my presentation, what is your opinion? What do you think that is other field that we need to understand for going forward with this topic? What do you think that is one key space for going in this huge world? Because in postgrades we cannot figure out a lot of studies of this, and I have like 2 or 3 colleagues that they do both careers at the same time. They were like got in our university, and they do it because they worked like his father was a huge investors on all this clinical sector, and they have the family. They had a huge company of oxygen, and the father started to put the idea to become like the both profession more important for the society, that is like lawyers and physicians, and was like so hard they work with their minds that they didn't was so sure why they are doing this, because study law is really hard. But every time they were like, or or influencer. Every time that we didn't sleep, it's like, oh no, but see this, no. We have time. 1 hour is enough. We can rest in 1 hour, because don't they didn't study in the same university. They need to move, so it's like not just schedules. Try to do everything perfect and connect, but you need to take time to go in and back and for it and maybe for have a life, and they didn't. Two of them get graduation of both career, and one is like finishing law. Uh, but this is we can spend 1 month talking about this, and we never understand 5% about how this works. So that is my intervention. I want to listen to you. What is your opinion? What do you think that is important? And yeah, I want that we listen each other for a little bit.
Hi everyone. I would like to share with you that I have managed some medical cases from to responsibility in I don't know how do you say when wrong practice or praxis in medical stuff. So the most important point to take in the case is to demonstrate that the result of that bad practice was possible in or how can I explain that, if we have one procedure and there were predicted some results, you have to demonstrate that that result was not one of that um, many possibilities that the procedure have. For example, if I have to I don't know procedure in my brain, maybe in the previously the doctor said to me that it's probably that I lost my um, eye function, for example, but it is was a result that is not previously predicted in that procedure. We could talk about a bad practice in medicine. But if the result is predicted previously, it's not um, a bad practice. It's just bad luck to you in that case. But that's my I don't know my
Intervention, your point of view.
intervention. Yeah,
And it's so
thank you.
useful because put in my mind that plastic surgery is the only field of medicine where they can promise a result. Then in all the aspects, in every area of the medicine, they cannot promise nothing. They can do the best effort as us, same as us. We can do this the best effort that we can for this case, and we can try to put all the knowledge and all the resources and human resources for trying to get a huge and amazing good result. But maybe that don't happen, and you will go to jail. As simple as that. But for these special cases where they made a promise in this plastic surgery, or when you are talking, and we can talk from every country, a famous that at some point of their career, like an actor or singer, whatever, they went to a plastic surgery and the things goes wrong, and then they start to claim the doctor, the hospital, whatever, and they get millionaire, and the career of that doctor is done. He will never get clients just because it takes one of these huge cases. And if we take one of these examples, we need to understand a lot of mistakes that we get when we're talking about our plan or about our legal strategy. This always, if you keep in mind this advice, I will be so happy. But if you want to lose a case, put media on. That was an advice that one professor gave me a lot of years. And by practice, I understand why. If you want to lose your case, let that the media go into the case. Do an interview, do answer some questions on radio or on TV, and you will lose the case. You will lose the case for sure. Because when a judge start to have a little bit of pressure on him, it's really, really hard that they start to see the things objectively. So from the intervention of Karen, we can take this. So important. Even when we are working on these cases, just plastic surgeries or this plastic world inside of the medicine is the only case that we can make and use the proofs about the promise that they do before start to the intervention, about how the nose will looks like, or the lips or the cheeks or whatever that they want to put or change on their bodies. And if we have a problem from there, the case and all these like responsibility or liability that you need to support their fault is done, because the result is showing us that the bad practice on it. I will give you an example of one famous actress, I guess. She put some implants on her ass, and was so perfect, like a couple of months and whatever. And after that was famous like internationally, because the people go a lot of to Colombia, because the surgeries and the plastic surgeries are so cheap in comparison to other countries. But also it's like a specific kind of type of tourism. The people are going to my country for get like a surgery in the eyes, or to get a new dentist plan, because in comparison to other regions, it's so cheap. So in the international forum, this case was appearing like all around the world, and the consequences, we know it. But from the result, that is like all the tests that they take from the result, like the biological tests, all the information that they can get from the result, from the huge hole that this girl has on his bump, they figure out that from that was the first proof that there was bad practicing. And we didn't need to prove nothing. We didn't need to make that an experts come to the trial for justify every action, because it's talking by their self. Who wants to talk a little bit about your point of view in these medical cases? Maybe who of you have some experience, or maybe do you study or do some case or fake trials at the university, and you get like an idea about it. Or maybe with medical um, proceeding, because your family or someone in your family is a doctor and can give us a real example.
Gali, I have something to say. Maybe it's, I don't know, I think it's not really like a medical proceeding or something. It's pretty close to that. I have a friend, she was pregnant with twins. So I don't remember in which week she started feeling really bad and she went to the doctor. and the doctor told her that she lost one of the twins. So they needed to wait there in the hospital so she can gain sorry, the other twin who was alive can gain weight, and well, obviously she could have that baby. The problem is that when the moment arrived and she had the baby who was alive, and she was thinking about the other baby because she wanted to, do a funeral or something like that. um she asked for her baby, for the other one who passed away. In the hospital, that it was a public hospital, they told her that she couldn't have it because it was like a I don't know how to say it in English, desecho químico, a
Mm.
well, that they told her that. They told her that
You can
because
say, you can say like, I was like so focused. How can I say that? Oh no, I don't know. You can say like a biological waste.
biologic bio, biological waste.
Mhm.
So they told her that. And well, as mom, she said, what? I want my baby, I want to do a funeral for her. So the doctor told her that it was because a recommendation of the I don't know if the no, I think it is not OMS, but I think it is not the not that in English. Well, it was
Yeah.
part of a, yeah,
Okay,
it was
it's like Organización Mundial de la Salud is um, medical health organization.
medical health organization. So it was a recommendation that they were following from that organization. So for example, I don't remember the exact amounts, but in this recommendation that the hospital was following, they said that with some weight of the baby, the weight directs if it's going to be a baby or it is not. So
Mhm.
it depends on how much this baby weighs, and her baby didn't gain the exactly number, so could be considered as a baby. So he started a proceeding there, an administrative one. And when she finished there, because they didn't allow her to take her baby, they started a judicial proceeding. And I think her case was in the constitutional court here in Peru. And I think I remember that well, they directed this case about a right to, it was a religious right. So they said she has the right to do a funeral on her beliefs. So you need, and that's something that's a human right. So you need to give your baby to her, and they
Okay.
won, but it was very very difficult. It was about 2 years proceeding. And in those 2 years, the doctor, well, hopefully it was well, a nice doctor, and the doctor told her, look, I can't give you your baby right now. If I give you your baby, I'm going to be in problems. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to take care of your baby. I'm going to keep it here. I'm not going to give your baby to, I don't know, a medical study or something like that. I'm going to keep your baby here with me. When you win, you just came here. And that's what she did. She won. After 2 years, she was able to do the funeral of her baby.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience. You makes me realize three things man while you were speaking because it's the way that my mind works. I start to okay, the first one was a case that we study going, you know that every university got like a consulting for free just because they need that the students go and take some practice, whatever. One case arrived. And we were like so little, we didn't know how to afford it, and we went like to group because we tried to put that case from one to the other, and it's like no, 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 I am not done, and etc. And the best lawyer in criminal law at the university, he takes the case, and he started like a group of study and teach us, of course, that I cannot finish because I get I finish my year, but the continues the process, and we study every Tuesday this case, and was I got this information at some part of my brain, and I want to share it with you. And if you want, I can send you some more information because it's published right now. In a born, the doctor takes the baby, and when they put it like feet up for make them cry because it's a medical situation that I cannot understand, the baby sleeps. I can't remember if I speak with you about this like in some of our speaking calls or with someone, but the case was that the baby sleep up and he died, of course. And the girl that was pregnant and etc., she wants to start the process, but she didn't get money. And of course, that we know that from that huge mistake will be amazing to try to help her. But she didn't want to take a lawyer because of the percentage was kind of 30 or 35%, talking about the total amount of money, and she didn't want to pay that. So for that reason, she went to the university and she explained that she didn't have the resources that she needed, like a student or a lawyer. And for us was the mistake was so clear, but how you will prove it? And all the nurses and etc., they know what happens, but it's right, it's really hard to go in one of these cases and put the mom there and start to put into that stressful situation and see how your life that grow up, that born just for a little mistake of the doctor, didn't exist anymore. So we're talking about babies was like that. The other thing that I realized with the intervention of Maria is other part that belongs to labor law. And when you're talking with a physician, I was like in a conversation with a doctor from Brazil, and he was telling me that in Brazil, the 66% about all the consulting in private sector or public sector in the hospitals are consequences of bad practicing in the factories or in the workplace, because the people that try to oversee these situations, they didn't respect like all the rules. For example, if you are working with bakery and you work 1 hour doing the same movement, you need to take rests for 15 minutes. And if you didn't take this, working 2 years, 4 years in the same place, you will start to having all the consequences in your body. And this is a problem, a huge problem between the people that makes the law, the people that works overseeing that the law works, and the physician. Because when you comes to a consulting and you say, oh yes, take these pills and etc., but the physician never start to see deeper why is happening this and how we can connect this legal stuff with your real situation and with your context. Because in the most of the time when you have a consulting with a doctor, you have 15 minutes. Yes, here, just listen, blah, 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 just wait, and yeah, you are done. 15 minutes, no more than that. And if it's really, really hard, the situation, then you can get other date or you can go to visit another shift. This is also important to understand it. Of course, that we cannot go in deeper with this labor law. And I will listen the last one if someone wants. And someone now, we will start. I guess that I have your attention right now. So I will start. Mm-hmm. Okay. Of course, I try to do it more dynamic, having a conversation. But we will find a lot of really interesting articles, discussions, and also investigations in this area. But I like this part because it's the introduction of a book that try to answer all the things that I explained you. And I really like the way that they explain how we are, and I guess that is quite realistic. So some standard conflict seems to appear again and again in the relationship between law and medicine. Lawyers are accused of showing undue concern for the past, for formalities, for retribution, and for deterrence, as well as having a basic lack of skills in the handling of human needs. Medical people are accused of disregarding law and the needs of society, and also of often overstepping individual rights in their eagerness as good doors. Imperialists within both camps demand more scope of their particular approach. Delinquents, drinkers, psychopaths, or drug abusers, and continuous battle range between these major professions and whom these problems belong. There are property claims in a human and social problems as well as in land. Then you will start to read where is the thesis about who is the owner of all these things, right? One of them, one of those we can make responsible about the result in our society. When we start to talk about medical negligence, here is something so important that I told you before. These both professions from the beginning of times are like the most respected one at the base of the society. Now I can say like a lot of other professions, but engineers and all these biochemical and researches and everybody is important. But when you ask your grandfather or your grandma, which one are the most important professions, they will answer one of these three because it's the base of the society. So one in charge of ensuring the health and the well-being of citizens, while the other regulates relationships between members of the sake of coexistence and progress of a society. We are in the second group, of course. So for the physician and the lawyer, matters such as life, death, mental capacity, dependency, and etc. are interrelated, and we always have it in our daily basis, in more or less size, but we get it, okay? They are common, and when it comes to legislation of this matter, it's not necessary to do accounting with professionals through their institutions, which includes their entire profession. One of the battles that we have always in Congress is that we try to do some laws, and as we have our ego on the top of the world, sometimes we don't want to take the professional to give us an advice on how we can manage that from the public policy. And this is one huge trouble that I guess that in your countries happens again. So medical negligence is the most complicated type of personal injury claim. No two cases are the same, and the harm inflicted can range from minor, life-changing, and may even be fatal in extreme cases. Complexity and the abundance of proofs means that they can regularly take years to settle. That was the thing that Maria shared with us. If I need to wait 2 years for have my rights be covered by the law, I am done. The justice is not working. And that is the base because our society is not working anymore. But it's just a simple decision about respect how think the other one. If I think that is my baby, it's my right to receive it and do all the process that I need to let them go or let him go or let her go. But sometimes they are not human. We cannot generalize, but we have cases of cases. The applied or use of medical knowledge or practice, pathology, to the purpose of the law is try to determine, try to have an idea or determine what is the cause of death. And it's not the opposite. They are interrelated, but one is trying to save life, but the other one is trying to analyze what's happening, and this foreign circle is always connected with criminal law, because it's the only way, the only field that we can go to get like the information, the real information from the case, that we can adapt it. And we have these kind of cases every day. Accidents, car accidents, fire, some homicide. We can talk about a lot of topics where we always will need this medical knowledge. It's also called medical jurisprudence or legal medicine. Legal medicine is the most common one. Medical negligence occurs when a medical or healthcare professional deviates from a care standards from their professions and cause injury to a patient. Here, it's so important to talk that medical proceedings or medical negligence are also connected with tort law. De hecho, la responsabilidad civil, contractual, extracontractual o la responsabilidad médica está súper conectada a esta área del derecho, esta área del derecho privado. De hecho, es como responsabilidad médica, es la manera en la que lo conocemos en mi país, y está súper conectado con la responsabilidad contractual y extracontractual. Se aplican los mismos principios probatorios, esto las chiquitas van a tomar tiempito para que lo entiendan, pero básicamente todo esto está dentro de esa área del derecho privado, dentro del derecho probatorio, dentro de las cláusulas para exigir una responsabilidad y exigir una indemnización de perjuicios. These aspects about labor law, trade unions, medical prescriptions, medical liability, and the conditions that we are getting are just some aspects that we need to keep in mind, but other ones, as you told me, it's really important that we start to getting connected, how we can get all this vocabulary and all this new vocabulary. And in YouTube, I will send it, maybe not for tomorrow, maybe for our next speaking call, one case that is amazing to see it, because you see in real life how they are doing questions to the doctors and how the lawyers start to manage it, like with other doctor behind the scenes for understand all the context. So I'm not so sure that you will see it everything, but if you have time, will be so useful for just because it's necessary for our career. Now, en Colombia nosotros conocemos este tipo de procesos cuando viene de alguna firma de abogados, como estos procesos o casos pro bono. Cuando viene algún tipo de consultorio jurídico de alguna universidad, también son casos pro bono, pero también tenemos un tipo específico que no es muy común, lo utilizan un pocos abogados, y que en Estados Unidos y Reino Unido, esto es tomado de una página de Reino Unido que les voy a dejar el link para que no haya problemas de acuerdos de privacidad y bueno, todo el tema que ya hemos aprendido en nuestras clases. Pero ellos también lo conocen y estoy segura que en sus países también existe. Que es like no win, no fee claim. Si no ganamos, como yo voy a ser la abogada de Karen, y si no ganamos este proceso, Karen no me paga nada. Pero si ganamos, quiero el 40% de lo que reclamemos. Quiero que se valgan mis honorarios por el 40% de todo el monto de la indemnización. No win, no fee claim. So you pay to your lawyer from the compensation if they win the case or your case, but if they didn't win or they don't win your claim, you don't pay nothing. Provided appropriate insurance covering this place and is in place, there are not upfront charges or hiding costs. Depending if you want to talk with other company that is the ones that get involved with insurance. But I want to know if you have this in your countries. I'm so sure that you have it. Yes, no? Es como casi que llevar un proceso a cuenta de cobro, que cuando tú estás muy seguro, por ejemplo, el caso de esta señora que les comentaba que no tiene dinero para pagar a un abogado, si yo hubiera sido profesional en esa época y hubiera tenido el bagaje que tengo ahora, olvídate que yo suelto ese caso, porque era un caso que iba a 100% las de ganar, estoy segurísima. Ahora no pueden pasar muchas cosas por el camino, vamos con un 80%, pero la responsabilidad era clara de probar y la indemnización iba a ser gordita. Entonces, ¿cuál es el riesgo? Si estoy tan segura de mi conocimiento, de mis habilidades y de los hechos del caso, uno no deja ir eso. Igual, eso les comento a ustedes. El día de mañana uno no sabe. Here is so important to understand that the final result of these cases is who will pay the consequences about it. How we can get the indemnification or the money, because from any mistake that one physician, doctors that happened, the people that result as a victim of this case always want money. Maybe they want that the doctor say yes, sorry, I made a mistake, and etc. That is like 10% of the cases, but all the 90% wants the money. So it's important to, when we start to analyze one of these cases, who will pay the consequences? Some circumstances can never be compensated, but that happens also in administrative law when one army or someone that belongs to the army or one decision from the army affect one little guy or one young guy and he died basically in war or in the field, and the mom will ask for a compensation. Of course that I will never go back your son, dear, but I can make that your life becomes easier without your son because of these consequences. So this is always so important. Try to be and understand the position of the other one, the position of the people that I have in front of me. But this is the final result of this matter. If you are not working with one of the topics that I explained you before, labor law, maybe public policy, Ministry of Health, but if you are talking about litigation, and about medical negligence, tort law, and responsibility that belongs from the behavior of a physician, we are talking about money. Who will pay it? Private sector, public sector, but someone will pay by the mistakes. Here we have the basic line, how we can manage these cases. Basically, is the diagnosis, the complaint, the assessment, the investigation, and the negotiation. After that, we have the claim or sue the company, the hospital, and etc. And then basically the trial. But here is the step by step how we need to manage these cases, how we can like have some data from the case, because I need to go to consult other expert, another one, and try to put myself in the same position and try to go to ask to other people that would answer all my questions talking about this complaint or this behavior. So this investigation process will give us the base for do the sue. I am having troubles with battery right now. So if at some point my computer died, sorry. So before you leave, I will please ask you that you do the survey right now. I will take a picture and then we will go into the next step because I have fear that my computer died. Me faltan dos chiquitas o chiquito. Okay, perfect. I will send you tonight because this is one of the patient wants topics that we can discuss for our lives. Every time that we know a doctor or a physician, it's a really interesting topic how our worlds start to be connected in some areas and aspects. You can find a lot of glossaries online. I will send you my first one and my favorite one. And I will send you also the trial that I want that we discuss. I need to talk with you some aspects. Some of you owe me speaking calls right now. So I need to make a schedule with the ones that owe me, that you know who are. What do you prefer, Saturday or Monday? I prefer Monday, Gali, please.
Okay.
It works better for me.
Me too.
Yeah, I prefer Monday too.
Okay, so I will organize all the schedules and I will tell you, perfect, thank you, perfect. And I will tell you the topic, the specific topic of that lesson with each one. And because everybody owes me one's different. And maybe the material to send it to you on weekend for you have it clear on Monday. And on Monday we will close everything, we will leave it fulfilled. We will finish our sessions. On Wednesday. Yes, on Wednesday. So we have two speaking calls missing. The one of tomorrow that will be quite complex, and I will send you all the information tonight. And tomorrow we will do an improvisation work. At one of our first lesson, we do one improvisation. So you know how it works. I will send you all the information that you need to see for tomorrow. And yeah, just give your advice how it works. That will be our speaking call of Friday. And or Monday, we will get all the speaking calls that we have been missing. And the next day, or last session, that will be at Wednesday, we will have a debate. Okay? So I will like put against you against one of your colleagues, and I will give you your position, like support or going against. And the topic, I will choose the topic, and I am open to listen some ideas. I want to be a topic really deep and try to do it quite controversial. And this exercise will take us more time. If you want to stay on the debate, will be amazing. That because will be like our last activity. But I want to try to do it more dynamic. So I'm really thinking to do like couples, like two for support and two for going against, because that will help to do some um, teamwork and analyze other aspects, but also try to improvise with the argument with your teamwork. But I need to find the topics and the schedules and try to see that everything works. With that final session, we are completely done. And on Monday, I will do the feedback with each one with all the papers that you send it to me. I guess that is a couple missing, Crisia and someone more. So I will please ask you that you send it to me before Sunday. Sunday, I will start to start everything and to do all my comments and get my feedback ready for Monday. And basically, that's all. I will see you in other opportunity. And I want also that for our last session or meeting, we will take a shower that day because I want a picture just for remind this group. And thank you so much for your time of tonight. We will discuss tomorrow, and I will send you all the material when I put to charge my computer because it will die soon. But tonight you will have all that information, no worries at all. And tomorrow we will improvise a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, everything clear?
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks to you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Gali. Thank you.
Goodbye, good night, thanks to you.
Bye,
Bye.
Gali.